AJ Lee has stepped back into the spotlight, and the WWE Universe is absolutely electric following the stunning revelation that she is set to challenge Becky Lynch at Elimination Chamber. This is far more than just another match announcement. What we are witnessing is a powerful clash between two different eras, two contrasting styles, and two massive legacies that could reshape the entire women's division. The moment the news broke, fans across the world immediately understood the magnitude of what could be coming. This is the kind of matchup that doesn't just headline a show, it creates moments that live forever in WWE history. For years, speculation surrounded the possibility of AJ Lee returning to the ring. Supporters never truly gave up hope. The former Divas champion built her name on unpredictability, razor-sharp psychological warfare, and a fearless approach inside the squared circle. She was never just another competitor, she was a game-changer who thrived on keeping both opponents and audiences guessing. Now, standing across from one of the most dominant stars of the modern era in Becky Lynch, the timing of this confrontation could not be more explosive. The instant AJ issued the challenge, social media platforms went into overdrive. Becky Lynch, famously known as the Man, has carried the women's division through some of its most groundbreaking periods. From historic WrestleMania main events to brutal rivalries that tested her limits, Becky has repeatedly proven that pressure only fuels her fire. However, AJ Lee represents a completely different kind of threat, one that cannot be measured purely by recent momentum or physical dominance. AJ doesn't simply compete inside the ring, she dissects her opponents mentally. She studies weaknesses, exploits hesitation, and turns confidence into doubt with frightening efficiency. During her return appearance, AJ made it crystal clear that time away has not dulled her edge. Wearing that familiar smirk and radiating cold confidence, she directly called out Becky Lynch, boldly questioning whether the Man is truly prepared to face someone who helped lay the foundation for today's women's revolution. It was a statement designed to provoke, and it worked perfectly. Becky Lynch, never one to back down from a challenge, responded in signature fashion, composed, sharp, and quietly dangerous. She reminded the entire WWE universe that while respect for pioneers exists, the present belongs to her. Becky's message was unmistakable. AJ Lee may have returned to the spotlight, but stepping into the ring with Becky Lynch is stepping into a completely different battlefield. What makes this encounter so fascinating is the dramatic contrast in their approaches. Becky Lynch brings relentless physicality, unbreakable toughness, and the kind of championship endurance that has been forged through years of high-stakes battles. She has gone to war with the very best of the modern roster and survived every storm thrown her way. Her disarm her submission remains one of the most feared finishing holds in WWE today, capable of ending a match in seconds if locked in properly. On the other side stands AJ Lee, whose strengths lie in speed, ring awareness, and master-level psychological strategy. Her Black Widow submission has long been considered one of the most dangerous and technically sound holds in WWE history. Beyond the moves themselves, AJ's true weapon has always been her mind. Even after time away from in-ring competition, her ability to adapt mid-match and outthink opponents could prove to be the ultimate equalizer. As Elimination Chamber draws closer, the stakes surrounding this showdown continue to rise. For Becky Lynch, this match is about defending more than just pride. It is about protecting the legacy she has built and reaffirming her position as the standard-bearer of the women's division. A defeat at the hands of a returning AJ Lee would send massive shockwaves throughout WWE and potentially shift the balance of power overnight. For AJ Lee, the motivation runs just as deep, if not deeper. This is about validation. It is about reminding the world exactly who she is and why her name still commands respect years after her last full-time run. A victory over Becky Lynch would not just be a win, it would instantly catapult AJ back into the very top tier of WWE competition. The environment of the Elimination Chamber event itself only adds more fuel to the fire. The chamber has built its reputation on chaos, brutality, and career-defining moments that fans never forget. Even if this particular match unfolds outside the steel structure, the intensity surrounding the event guarantees an atmosphere filled with tension and drama. Every strike will matter. Every counter will shift momentum. Every near fall will have the crowd holding its breath. The WWE fanbase is already sharply divided on how this encounter might unfold. One side firmly believes Becky Lynch's current momentum and physical dominance will simply be too overwhelming. They argue that ring rust could slow AJ Lee down and that Becky's relentless pace will expose any hesitation early in the match. Meanwhile, another group of fans sees the perfect upset brewing. They point to AJ Lee's history of thriving when doubted and note that her psychological warfare could disrupt Becky's rhythm at the worst possible moments. To them, This is exactly the kind of scenario where AJ has shocked the world before. What cannot be debated is this: neither competitor knows how to back away from a fight. Becky Lynch built her entire career on walking directly into the fire and emerging stronger every time. AJ Lee built hers on breaking expectations and rewriting the script when the odds were stacked against her. When those two mindsets collide in the same ring, the result is almost guaranteed to produce must-watch television. There is also a powerful emotional layer woven into this rivalry. AJ Lee represents a generation that fought tirelessly for respect during a very different chapter of women's wrestling. Becky Lynch represents the revolution that transformed that struggle into global main event dominance. In many ways, this match carries the feeling of a symbolic torch moment, or perhaps a heated debate over who truly ignited the flame that changed everything. As the road to Elimination Chamber continues, expect the tension between these two superstars to escalate rapidly. The promos will grow sharper. The psychological warfare will intensify. Becky Lynch will undoubtedly bring the fight directly to AJ Lee, and AJ will almost certainly respond with the calculated mind games that made her a legend in the first place. But when the bell finally rings, all the talking, all the hype, and all the speculation will instantly disappear. At that point, only execution, endurance, and pure willpower will determine the outcome. The biggest question now hangs in the air. Will Becky Lynch once again prove exactly why she calls herself the man, or will AJ Lee complete one of the most shocking and memorable comeback victories in WWE history? One thing is absolutely certain. The countdown to Elimination Chamber is officially underway, and this blockbuster showdown is rapidly shaping into the match everyone will be talking about long after the event ends. Stay tuned, because whenever AJ Lee and Becky Lynch share the same ring, history has shown us one undeniable truth: absolutely anything can happen.